Hi there, this is Susie back again, and she is today going to do some planting. She is going to plant some shallots, and shallots are generally planted about this time of the year in the colder districts, which is Victoria and Tassie, and perhaps some part of New South Wales, where temperatures drop to around 17 degrees right now, and it will obviously during winter, which is not that far away, will drop to minuses. So if you are living in the temperate climate or subtropical to tropical, you would have obviously already planted some of these shallots, or onions for that matter, because onion, shallots, chives, garlic, they are basically of the same family of allium, and specifically shallots from Allium cepa. So this is one of those shallots that you can grow. It's part of the Allium family, but you can really here in Victoria grow from April right up to the shortest day, which is mid-June. So you are not late. So if you were thinking about planting shallots, onions, even garlic for that matter, it's about time here in Victoria to get them in your garden. And I'd just like to talk a little bit the differences between the onion and shallots. Obviously they are all the same family of allium. But we get two different types of onions, as you probably know, actually three different types of onions, which are the white flesh or white skin, and you get the brown ones, and then you get the cerise or deeper red type one, which are this particular one we call red onions. I tend to use the red onions a lot more than the brown because of the distinctive flavor, or more milder flavor that it has compared to the brown onion. So these are actually my favorite, and as you can see the difference between an onion and a shallot. And they all similarly, they can have a lot of segments like garlic. Sometimes it has got 2, sometimes it has got 3, sometimes it has got 4, and sometimes it might have up to 7, 8 little ones. I've had a good crop last season where this particular basket was full of just shallots. I don't know how many I planted, but I just plonked them in my garden last season, and I dug them up about November last year, that I dug them all out, dried them, and then put them in here. And Asians, especially Southeast Asia, Northeast Asian countries, India, Mediterranean, they just love using or making use of shallots. Shallot has got more deeper flavor, it's more intense, and you can either pickle them, use them in lots of different types of culinaries, or you can also use them as a side condiments, which we Indians, coming from an Indian background, I know how much these shallots, especially these lots here, they also can come in the red skin as well, and how much the Indians in India make use of them in different districts. Obviously have got different names, and they make different culinary dishes, and they really use it quite extensively in those particular area. Each area of India or the province have their own different cuisine. Indian cuisine, Asian cuisines are just full of shallots. They would hardly ever use onions. They much rather use shallots because of its greatest flavor. And shallots, there's one thing that if you are cutting shallots, you will find that you will have watery eyes because it has got that strong flavonoids and phenols it contains. That's why it makes you come into tears usually. So it has a more intense flavor, and the phenols and flavonoids that it gives out, and that's what makes your eyes a little bit teary, but I don't mind that because it is obviously of greatest flavor. Now that's the two quite distinguishable differences between them. One is obviously just round and bulbous. Shallots usually has a lot of segments, as you can see. And what I'm going to do now is really get the biggest, nicest shallots to plant. And that's what I do when I plant shallots. And what you do, you just break them, and it just breaks quite easily. So look at the size of them. This is what I'm going to plant. I've already got two here, so that will join these two here. And you just break them like that and make sure that it doesn't have, like this one has got one more. It's very hard to see, but you can just plant these big bits. And I will just plant about at least maybe 20. So I will get 20 segments or cloves out of my shallots. One thing shallots doesn't like is freshly prepared manured soil. So just be very careful that you do not have your manure fresh and top it on top of the shallots when you're planting them. For some reason it just hates the fresh manured area, but you can have your quite composited or decomposed matter mixed in for about, say, 2 months before planting if your soil and the area that you want to plant are good, lovely alluvial soil to plant them in, rich soil, and as long as it's not fresh. And what else it doesn't like is it doesn't like to be planted compared to garlic. Garlic, you can plant them about 4 centimeters deep, whereas shallots, it prefers to be, the top prefers to be just seen over the soil. And I will show you how I plant these shallots very soon while I get some of the shallots ready. So I'll see you very shortly, and I'll have about 20 to plant. See you very shortly. Bye-bye. Here I am on my little patch here that I have created to plant my little shallots. And as you can see, I have sort of marked them horizontally here. Oh, sorry, vertically here, facing me obviously. And I'm just going to plonk them just like that. As you can see, it's got a top end where the shoot's gonna come out. And then this is the bottom end. As you will see that it's got sort of rooty system at the bottom to plant. And then this is where the new shoot is going to come out. And as I said before, shallots really do not like deep planting, and they prefer shallow planting, which means you just cover it with soil. That's all you need to do. You don't need to cover too much because it just doesn't like it. And you will find when the shallots are up, make use of the leaves as well as the bottom bit. And when the shallots are ready, you will find you will get 3 times the amount of shallots you have planted. And you pick them up about November, December, when you know that the tops have little bit dried out. You pull them out and dry them out and store them away. Shallots will store inside your house or in a airy place for good 6 months. So you can make a good use of them in that particular 6 months. I prefer them because they are smaller than onions. They are more tastier than onions. And you can use, while they're growing, you can snip off the fresh leaves, chop them up, and put them in your cookery. And what I do is just hide them, basically. That's all you do. Just hide them. I don't try to cover too much because it really hates it. And I'm hoping that they will start sprouting very soon. And that's all. That's my planting done of shallots. Have a good day. Happy planting. Bye for now.